Over the period, we've been hearing buzzwords like cryptocurrencies, smart contract systems, decentralized finance, NFTs, crypto coins, tokens, Metaverse, and blockchain. Hello my people, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we'll be looking at what exactly is blockchain and how does it work. Blockchain is a digital ever-growing list of data records that is comprised of many blocks of data which are organized in chronological order and are linked and secured by cryptographic proofs. Blockchain is a system of recording information in such a way that makes it very difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. So it is essentially a digital ledger of transactions, that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. And each blockchain contains a number of transactions, and every time a new transaction occurs on the blockchain, a record of that transaction is added to every participant's ledger, thereby making it very difficult for hackers to tamper with. The decentralized database managed by multiple participants is known as distributed ledger technology, otherwise known as DLT in abbreviation. So transactions that are carried out on blockchain are recorded with an immutable cryptographic signature, and these cryptographic signatures are known as hash. If you have been in the blockchain space for a while, I believe you must have been familiar with some of these the terminologies that I am mentioning now. Now let's look into the properties that every distributed ledger technology DLT must possess. Number one, we say that a DLT must be programmable, and we can see that a blockchain is programmable. Example is the smart contract. Another property is that a DLT must be secure, and we see that all records are individually encrypted. Thirdly is that a DLT must be anonymous, and we can also see this that the identity of participants in a blockchain is either anonymous or pseudonymous. So fourthly, we will say that a DLT, that is distributed ledger technology, is unanimous, and we can find that on the blockchain network that all network participants agree to the validity of each of the records. Fifthly, we say that a DLT must be time-stamped. So a transaction timestamp is recorded on a block that is in the blockchain network. And we also say that a DLT must be immutable, and any validated records are irreversible and cannot be changed on the blockchain. Finally, it must be distributed, and on the blockchain we can find that all network participants have a copy of the ledger for complete transparency. So on this note, we'll say that each of these properties are playing important roles in ensuring that if one block in one chain was changed, it would be immediately apparent. Most popular blockchains such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are constantly and continually growing as blocks are being added to the chain, which significantly adds to the security of the ledger. However, there are thousands of other altcoins. By altcoins, we mean alternative coins. So what we call coins that are not among the most popular, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And some of these coins include Solana, Ada by the Cardano organization, Algorand, Matic, XRP from Ripple, Mana, BNB from Binance, and Dogecoin Now, let's take a look at what problem does blockchain solve. Prior to the time that blockchain emerged, there have been many attempts to create digital money in the past, but they have always failed. Noting that the prevailing issue happens to be trust. Let's say if someone creates a new currency called the XYZ dollar, right? How can we trust that they won't give themselves a million XYZ dollars or steal your own XYZ dollars for themselves? As a matter of fact, Bitcoin was designed to solve this problem by using a specific type of database called the blockchain. This is where the blockchain now comes to play. And how this works is that unlike most other databases, like the SQL database for instance, you have someone in charge who can change the interest. A good example is, giving themselves a million XYZ dollars. Blockchain is, however, different because nobody is in charge, as it is run by the people who use it. In order not to make this video too long, in our next video, I'll be sharing with you the various types of blockchain and the pros and cons of permission blockchain and permissionless blockchains. I'll also be sharing with you some of the applications of blockchain. It is on this note that I will say thank you for watching, and if you've watched this video up to this point, I believe you gain massive value. So do well by giving this video a thumbs up, and also feel free to share it with your friends and on your social media platform so that other people can get to watch this video like you did and also gain value. Also engage with me in the comment section below. Do you think that there are some aspects of blockchain that I didn't talk about that are necessary? Please do well to drop them in the comment section so that we'll talk about them and let the world understand this blockchain very well as it should. Thank you very much for watching. See you right in the next one.